Hi everyone, this is Craig Nandoo. I'm here with Dr. Jenelle Kim and Julian Reis from SuperOrdinary.
That's right. Hi everyone.
As our theme continues, we're talking about not just the beauty brands themselves, but the companies that help beauty brands succeed in the industry. And so, Julian, please tell us a little bit about SuperOrdinary.
Well, thanks for having me. SuperOrdinary, we started 7 years ago, and our mission was to help brands leave America and go into other countries. 7 years ago, China was a very difficult market to enter, second largest market in the world. I moved there and I lived in a hotel for 3 years.
Wow, that's really...
And without knowing anything about it, one day we launched our first brand, which was called Pharmacy. Pharmacy became the second largest skincare brand in China within 2 years. And then one day we did a live stream and we sold $7 million in 20 seconds.
Wow.
So
20 seconds.
Yeah, it's very quick. And now we knew that live streaming and social commerce was here to stay. And today we're based here in LA. We work with about 100 different brands, and we really help brands scale on these marketplaces. And I think what's exciting about what we do and how we work with brands is that the feedback loop of what we hear, what's working, what's not working, helps inform what they should make in product development. So you don't have to wait 2 years on a Sephora or an Ulta shelf to find out what's working. So that's what we do.
It's immediate gratification.
It's very nice. I don't know if you're on this side of it, but you talk about scaling and how quickly that happens. What happens when you sell, what did you say?
Great question.
$7 million.
$7 million in 20 seconds. Is the inventory there, or what happens there?
So there's a lot of funny stories or scary stories where I would pick up the phone and I'd phone the contract manufacturer who was making the product in New Jersey, and they're sitting there around the clock and they have to generate 50,000 units. And
the drill?
We do know.
I mean, hopefully you guys can help us because the speed to market is important, but making sure that the product gets into the consumer's hands.
Yes.
It's not easy. I mean, I would say that the volatility in sales is something that we've learned the hard way, but I think it helps you forecast better. And I think this is what's happening. It's going to happen to the US. We're going to have these crazy sales periods, and we have to be ready for them.
Absolutely.
And the way I look at it right now is, when we started, 20 years ago, there wasn't social media. E-commerce really wasn't as big nearly as it is today. And so you look at this, and I look at this from an old school perspective, which is, you used to have QVC.
Yeah.
And it seems like now...
How old are you? Come on, you're not that old.
I'm young.
We're 75.
Yeah. We have good products.
Yeah, exactly. We're 100.
But I'm 42 for those of you out there. But on that note...
Are you ready?
No, I'm not.
Okay. On that note, you have QVC, which was just one channel, and you gotta watch what's on there.
Yeah.
And now you go to TikTok, you can choose the QVC channel.
Yeah.
Basically, aligns with what you're looking for.
Oh my God, it's people talk about AI, but what TikTok does, it narrows in very quickly into what your interests. I mean,
right.
You don't want to look at my TikTok; it looks like a crime scene. but it's fun, But it's fun because you're getting delivered what you want. I mean, think about how many channels there are on TV.
Yeah.
So I think it's really exciting.
Yeah.
I could not agree more.
And so the brands that you work with, do they have to be a certain size, or at what point do you say you can work with that?
That's the question that I wish I answered 5 years ago, because not every brand is set up or has the infrastructure to work with someone that like us. And also, I'm a people pleaser. I don't ever want to disappoint our brands. And sometimes it's hard, right? Because to cut the mustard and to invest behind your brand, it's a lot of money. And we know money is expensive. So typically what I like for a brand these days is to be doing at least 10 to 20 million of revenue. And the reason why I say that number is roughly around that level, you have the right infrastructure to support. And I know you guys probably have the same criteria, because if they're too small, it's a lot of work for a little reward, and someone has to pay for the bills.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why they take me out of that division as well. I'm like, sure,
everyone, yeah.
Well, that's interesting. So a lot of our audience, for example, they're indie brands, and maybe they're not quite $20 million yet, but they're on their way there. What are some things that you would say to them that you recommend based on your backgrounds that they can implement now on their way to working with you?
I think the thing which I would do is, let's say we're at a brand and we're doing 3 million of revenue, we're struggling, we're trying to figure stuff out, which, there's a lot of pressure to win very quickly. My piece of advice would be allocate every month 500 products to go to affiliate marketing, rain or shine, and see those 500 and give them a very clear brief of what you want them to say.
Yes.
Pick on one product and try and scattergun it. Just pick one hero SKU and really talk about the one claim that really you think will resonate, whether it's a before and after, something that storytelling, and just keep playing on it, and it will hit, and everyone will have their hot tour moment, and then it will go off, and I think before you know that 3 million will be 7 million, and when you're at 7 million, then you'll be like reinvesting and keep reinvesting it, and don't give up.
No, I love that. I love that advice. I don't share this very often, but I have worked with a few brands, to my surprise, because I didn't think I'd be doing this one day, on that end, because I really stand behind what they do, right? And they do that. I love that. That's really good advice, too, that when you send it to an affiliate or to a brand ambassador, what they do is they give you a very specific what they want you to say. These are the big brands who certainly know what they're doing. The one product.
Make it easy.
Yes, and they make it so simple. And I see how effective it is, even on the other side.
It's amazing. I really, love watching these brands grow, and, telling the brands to do that, it pays off in droves, because so many of these brands come back to me sometimes they work with you, sometimes they don't.
Right.
But, it's amazing, because I think the beauty community is a very supportive community, and I think
someone else was just saying that.
Yeah, and it's like it's a real win mentality, but I think so many people are cagey about the advice, and it's hard. It's not easy. So
Absolutely, it's not. It's exactly why we have this show, to try to get people to not detour, fall off a cliff.
Yeah, it seems like today you have like a split second to grab their attention as well. So, you can't give as much information right out of the gate as you want.
No.
Yeah, and I think also the advice, as I always say, is like really try and have fun. Like enjoy it. Like life's so hard as it is, so just enjoy it.
This is the truth. Life is short. So really appreciate your insight.
Anytime.
All you have to share and all the work that you've done. Where can he find you? And we'll list it, but I would like
on LinkedIn. I love communicating over there. But also, if you're interested in your brand's, feels ready for the next phase, message me on LinkedIn, and I'll put them in the right. Yeah, it comes SuperOrdinary.
Let's do that. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Appreciate it.